All right, get things set up. Where am I? I have to turn the volume off too, otherwise you get feedback real bad. Okay, I'm on. You can see there. Okay. Well, we've got a couple of viewers already. Hey, Jennifer. This is always such a strange concept, you know? Okay, gang. I've got my friend here, Nancy Harrington. She's right there.
Hi there.
She's going to join me today, and we're going to make some spoon rings. So the feedback is just slightly delayed. Hello, Mary. Hi, Joanne. And Jennifer. And right up here, you can see how many people are viewing at the time. We're just kind of going over how this thing works here. So just bear with us. Okay, so today we're going to do some spoon rings. And Nancy has been making spoon rings for a long, long time. And she's very good at it. And she's going to give me some pointers because I'm not very good at it, but I'm learning. And we thought we would present some of the rings. Some of these I had made already, and some we worked on today. And you can see there's a couple of different styles. Well, there's 3 different styles. Like this. This is a wraparound. And then there's ones that just meet end to end here. Like that. Hi, Wendy. Hi, Monica. Okay. So, I don't even really know where to begin, but I'm going to be using a Peppy ring bending tool, and I'm going to bring that over here to show you the tool and talk about that for a minute, and then we'll get up and we will show you how to make a few of them. All right, so hang in there a sec. Should have had this disconnected already. Okay. All right. So this is the Peppy ring bender system right here. And it comes with, I should be working for them, but I'm not. It comes with different dies and different ring size dies right here. And they have a nice little holder that has all the different sizes. They have these in millimeter sizes, but you have to kind of figure out what that means as far as ring sizes go. And I did put in the handout that I'm going to be putting up after the broadcast, I've got some measurement equivalents, but they're kind of guesstimates, really. There's really no chart that I could find online anywhere that actually told you exactly what each numerical size was, but somebody made a reference to a size 18 millimeter was close to a size 8 ring. So there's a little bit of play in these so that you can make them a little bit larger and a little bit smaller. So, hey Sandy, hi Deb. Okay, this is Nancy. For those who just joined in, there's Nancy right there.
Hi there.
Nancy lives about an hour away from me, and she has been on the circuit, on the show circuits, making different jewelry items, and she's quite good at making rings. However, she uses a different system than what I have here. So we're kind of just playing around with this today. Okay, so anyway, this has got, it's got a number of different dyes. They've got them in metal, and they have them in this Delrin plastic or nylon, whatever this is. I think it's nylon. But when you're making the rings, actually, any of the metal that you're putting in there, these are going to scratch your metal up, so using the Delrin dyes is a lot nicer. She uses the flat wearable press. It's an arbor press, and it has all the attachments for that. But that was a little bit too clunky to bring over here, so we're just working with this today. Okay, so it has, let's see if I can get you down here a little bit better. It has, you put this part in a vise. You attach this part right here into a vise, tighten it up real tight, and then depending on what size ring you want to make, you would put, like, let's just, for example, we would put in a size 16 there, and then I would get a size 16 here, and then you feed your metal in through here and press and move your metal and press, and you keep going around. And that is the premise of this little device. Okay, so I'm going to attach it into a vise. I'll move the move this into there, but I want to show you, let's see here, I'm all dirty already. We just got started. All right, a pair of bolt cutters is pretty handy to have, or if you like to use a jeweler saw, you can use a jeweler saw to cut your shank off of your silverware. I have trouble finding my words sometimes, especially when I'm doing this kind of thing. We're going to talk a little bit about silverware before we actually get started cutting anything. Things to look for and to avoid when you are shopping for silverware. And here are some examples. Here are some examples of some flatware that I've been picking up over the last couple of years that I've been interested in. And there's a lot of stuff that I'm not aware of that Nancy knows, and she was kind of enlightening me on some of those things that I need to know about different patterns, different weights. You know, some pieces work better than others, and I have a lot that don't work very well. So if you're going to go out and look for silverware, if you get some of these tips, it might be helpful for you to get the make the right kind of purchases. Okay, so Nancy knows a lot about the different patterns and stuff that I don't know about, and I thought it would be fun if she kind of helps out here. So, do you want to talk about any of this stuff?
Sure.
All right.
So, Sue and I have spent a couple hours playing with the silver, figuring out what will work, what won't. And some of these patterns down here will work very well. Help me know that I'm doing this right. This little fork, can they see it?
Yeah.
This little fork is relatively flexible. You can bend it without much trouble. So that would work well. Where if you look at a piece like this piece is stiff and does not want to move, and it's going to make you say something you might not want to say. So when I shop for silver, I always give the piece a gentle squish in the middle and see if it's flexible or not. Try not to break it, because somebody might not like that if you do that. And from that, you can kind of get a feel for what's going to work and what's not. This one is quite flexible. It's going to bend. I'm going to bend it for Sue, and she's just going to love me for that.
That's fine.
Yep. So that will make a ring easily. The heavier patterns, like this, while they're beautiful, they don't work really well. They're going to use all your strength that you have to bend them. It's hard to go. And your bigger pieces like serving spoons, while they may be beautiful, most of them are pretty heavy. Most of the serving pieces are hard to move. Worth it sometimes putting the effort in if you find a piece that's got lovely character, patina, and is not too worn. Those are the ones that are worth giving your time and your muscle strength to, because you'll end up with a beautiful piece in the long run. And as Sue has found out, the Demitasse spoons, little serving forks, like lemon forks, strawberry forks, iced tea spoons are very nice. Iced tea spoons are long. And did we have one out here? I thought we did.
Yeah.
They're long and they're usually relatively flexible. There's a lot. Yep. This is an iced tea spoon and it's got great. You can bend that puppy easily. And it could make a lovely long wrap ring. So there's a lot to think about. You also might want to look at the silver and see if there's a lot of wear on it. If you can see brass through it, you might not want to spend too much money for it. You might look for pieces that are in better shape, which is hard to find, but I always considered it a wonderful, fun treasure hunt. There are some beautiful patterns. The ones that I tend to like are from about the 1860s to the 1920s. These thistle ones Sue has here, oh my God. If you like Outlander, these are your babies. These are just beautiful. Or if you're just Scottish or love Scottish culture, these are great.
Now we've been asked, can you anneal them?
You can. You have to be extremely careful. I anneal it sometimes. You have to watch the piece very closely because it only takes a second and your piece is shot. The plating will burn off. And if that happens, you just throw the piece away because you cannot fix it. I find that I have to anneal the heavier pieces. I don't have to anneal the small bendable ones, but the heavier ones, I do have to anneal, and I don't think it's generally not a beautiful finish because you lose the patina. It's just not a great way to go, but you can. You just have to be extremely, extremely careful.
Okay, and then can you make the distinction between plated and sterling?
Yes. Sterling, generally, do they want me to tell you how to tell? Generally, if you look at a back, I don't know if they can see that, piece of silver, it has a writing on it. And if it's sterling, it will say sterling or 925. If it doesn't say sterling or 925, it is not sterling.
Yeah, it always has to say that.
Yes, although there are some British, German pieces that do not say it, but that are sterling. It's just a different grade of sterling.
Okay.
So you have to kind of
like
know
what they call German silver, but it's got a
Yeah.
lot of nickel in it or whatever?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Hi, Suzanne. Hi, Mary. Yeah, so if you're fortunate enough to get all sterling, that would be wonderful. Much easier to use. But if you're just new to doing this, I would suggest doing the plated silverware first so that you get the feel for it. And then you can venture onto sterling. Just about like with any other kind of jewelry making, just kind of practice in non-precious metals first, and then get good, and then go ahead and do that. Okay, so then the next thing I would say is probably determining size, which can be kind of a tricky thing. And that varies too, again, on the style that you're making. If you're doing a wraparound, you're going to need a much longer piece. It's going to require a longer spoon, right? Like say something like the iced tea spoon is going to give you plenty of length to make a ring like that. But you can't You can't do that. You can't accomplish that with something small like this, of course. But you can make some cute little rings like that. So I guess what we're going to try to do today is one of each style ring, and we'll see what happens. So, and then we have to find something to do with these cute little things.
Earrings.
Really?
Oh yeah. Fork earrings sell like crazy for me.
No kidding.
No kidding. Nope. Silly. Well, I shouldn't say silly.
No.
People really like them.
I haven't done anything with a fork.
Problem is
at
they're
all.
kind of sharp.
They are very sharp.
But you can cut the tines and make them shorter. You know,
Yeah.
and then they're not going to be as sharp.
Yeah. But they're so cute.
Or elephants. You can make forkifants out of them.
That's true. Forkifants?
Yeah.
I never heard the word for it.
No?
Uh-uh.
Forkifants. I think I
This
made the name
seems
up.
like it could be a hair something, a hair comb or something.
I
I
have
don't
made
know.
hair combs before for people.
Wow. Cool. Very cool. Okay. All right. So I guess we should, I'm going to take the camera over to the vise, and well, actually, yeah, I have to get my camera set up. Hang on a minute, guys. Should have had my stool out here already. These guys are very forgiving, so they know how I roll.
That's good.
All right, so I'm going to take the camera, disconnect us here. I hope I don't make you seasick while I'm moving things around. Yeah, I need that. Thank you, dear. All right. So we'll get hooked up in here so you can see. Yep. Okay. So I've got my vise mounted on my workbench here, and this just fits. You just open it up, and there's this ledge here that you're going to place this in, right here. And then you're going to tighten the vise up as tight as you can. Okay. All right, so that's in place. Now we have to cut some silverware. So let's come on over here. What should we start with? We've got these that we wanted to do, right?
Yep.
All right. So I've got this chart that I found online for measuring ring sizes that will be included on the last page of our handout. Okay. And the premise is that you line this, the handle of the spoon or fork or whatever, to whatever size you want to make. You line that up and draw a little line here and then snap that off. Nancy does it a different way. She eyeballs it pretty much, but she knows because she's been doing this for so long. She's very comfortable and probably pretty accurate as far as getting her right sizes. So I'm going to put her in here and she can do her magic. What do you want to do first?
Let's do the narcissus.
Okay, this pattern is called Narcissus. It's got beautiful daffodils. That's narcissus.
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 Yes.
Well, yeah, they're in the family, but they look like little daffodils. And it's just a really pretty pattern. Okay, so see, I told you. Oh, I feel like I need my clown shoes now. All right. Okay, she's going to make a wrap ring with this long handle like this, right?
Yep.
That's
Yep.
what you're going to do with that? I'm going to try to probably hold the camera so that they can see what you're doing. And what size do you think we should put in here?
Bigger than that.
Bigger?
Yeah,
Okay.
whatever's next. This is 18
There's
or
18.
16?
That's 18 that's in there.
Oh, this says 16.
Oh, well,
This is 18.
okay, well,
Sorry.
they're not in right. It's not a show from me unless there's some snafu. All right, so do you want 18 or do you want 20?
20.
20, okay. So we're going to put the nylon die in there, and then the matching size 20 in the holder. And I'm going to pick up the camera so you can see what Nancy's doing.
Okay, I have done this so many times that I truly don't think about it, and I frequently screw up. And I want to make a statement about whether you're going to cut them with a bolt cutter or with a jeweler saw. You get a different finish if you use a jeweler saw. You have a cleaner edge to work with, and when you cut with a bolt cutter, you end up with this spot on it. I don't know if you can see it. It's like a little edge. It's a rotten edge. And if you're following Sue's chart, which is fine, this is going to come up a little shorter than the chart says it will because of that, where the bolt cutter cuts it off. So from my perspective, I'd use a jeweler saw, but not everybody's comfortable with a jeweler saw. Okay, are we gonna?
So let's get the file. We'll just get a file and
Okay.
do that. All right.
Have fun.
Okay.
I haven't used a file in a long time. And it's
just-
really important when you're making a ring to make sure you're not going to hurt yourself or whoever's going to wear it. They are metal, so they will have pieces where it's been cut or crimped that can cause discomfort.
Yeah.
So you have to do away with that.
So I'm just kind of rounding this off and just taking the sharp edges off.
I'm letting Sue do the hard work.
No, you're going to be doing some hard work too. Sometimes it looks much easier than it actually is. I mean, these aren't bad, but it does take some strength to bend this metal. That's where, if it was sterling and you could anneal it, it would be like butter.
You can also do sterling without annealing it.
Well,
It's
yeah,
a
softer.
little more apt to crack on you, but if you're careful, any of the sterling rings I make anymore I don't anneal, mainly because I don't want to lose the patina.
Yeah, I can understand that. All right, I think for our purposes here,
Okay.
that probably will do it.
So let's see if I can do this well. So this tool, I'm left-handed, so I may do things a little different. I'm going to bend this end first, and we'll just work around. So you just kind of gently, I don't know if you can see it, so like you want them to?
I'm gonna check it against
Okay.
here. It looks pretty good right now.
Okay, so you just gently, if you go too fast, you're apt to make it crack. You just gently, well, it starts out gently, and then you get mad and you go faster. You get it going, and then what I do, if it's going the way I want it to, and if it's flexible, is I hold this thing really tight. I hold it with my whole body, and I start to bend using my hand, especially with a wrap ring. It's easy. It's not easy, but it's the way I have figured it out. And then as you go, I start bending it up with my hand to start it wrapping. I don't know if that's going to work really well. I'm going to turn it the other way. And then I can pull it up. So I'm taking this end and pulling it up as I go to help create the wrap. This is where the muscle comes in, and the big bowl of ice cream comes in later.
The payoff.
The payoff, yes. When I was telling Sue, I frequently use a good mallet when I'm doing this, just because I'm self-taught. Nobody told me what to do. I just do things in the way that it works best for me, which is, I think, the best way always to do things. And I think we are almost through with this ring. How perfect do you want it, Sue?
Well,
Perfect, perfect?
as good as you can.
Let's see how it looks. Oh, a little weird. It's not done well. Hold on, folks. I'm gonna push this end, not push it, hammer it down. It's big. That would fit that big, beautiful man across the room. Even
Where?
if he's, well, the one I'm dreaming about, you know, the one in my nightly.
Jamie Fraser?
There you go. Yes. From the book, not the movie. So there you go. It's huge. But it's beautiful. It's not perfect, but it's good.
Looks nice to me.
Yep. Yep.
All right.
Okay.
So that's number 1. All right. All right. So,
Do you want me to hold that while you're doing your part?
I think what I'm going to do here is use my chart
Okay.
just because. What did we pick? One of these or one of these? Sorry.
That one. Oh, we're doing good.
I'll pick this
Yeah,
nice,
that's a good one.
nice soft one here. This is a smaller one. This is like a little Demitas spoon. And I am going to try to make this, what, a size 7 maybe? Or should I go with a 6? What do you think?
6.
6?
Although, think about it a minute. If
I'll
you
cut
go,
it.
if you make it a little bigger, you'll have that flower at the end, which a
Mhm.
lot of people
That
like.
would be nice.
Yep.
That would be nice. So I'm just gonna draw a little line there. Get the bolt cutters. This should be real easy because it's a thin spoon. That was easy.
Easy peasy.
Yep.
You're strong.
Yeah. Not really. All right. All right. So I've got a little cleanup to do here. Just using a flat file. This is a number 2. 4 would be fine as well. Or if you have some other way of filing your metal, you could use that as well. But I'm just trying to do them relatively quickly, so you don't get bored to tears with what I'm doing.
Oh, you could never be born.
Oh, trust me, I can.
We'll ask Al.
Yeah. And then I'll do this one, and then I'll look at your comments and see if there's any questions that you'd like answered. And Nancy also pointed out to me that on the back, if you file that down a little bit thinner, when you're doing a wraparound ring,
No,
or the other ring,
The over one, I can't think what it's called, where they cross
where they cross over
rather
to have
than meet.
right rather than well, I think this
Overlap.
one I'm going to
Overlap.
do. You're going to do the overlap.
Oh, I am. Oh, okay.
I'm just doing the simple
Okay.
one.
The meeting. That's
This is
easy.
going to just
Yep.
meet end to end.
But yes, if you can make that end thinner so it's not noticeable, but it's generally on the underside, you will be able to move it much easier.
Okay. I'm glad that you mentioned keeping that little flower on there, because that
Just makes it pretty.
yeah, it looks nicer.
Who doesn't love flowers?
Yeah, for real. Okay, so that's nice and smooth. It's not going to irritate anybody. And we'll come back up here. All right. So I will start with, I guess, a 14 maybe, or a 16.
Let me see it again, the length. 16. I think that should work.
All right, I'm going to put a number 16 die in here and find my matching Delrin die. right here. Okay. All right, well, actually, I'm on the wrong side here. Never mind.
Back here.
No, I'm good here. I'm good here. I was just trying to make sure they could see it. But maybe
Want me to hold it?
it would be better, yeah, if it was elevated a little bit. All right. All right, so I'm going to put this in here, and I'm going to try to be in the middle of this die here. I don't want to be too close to the bottom or too close to the top. And I'm going to start off by just pushing this in a little bit and round that out a little. Like that.
So it looks like a candy cane is really the goal.
And now I'm going to put the other end in. So you do the two ends first. So you've got both ends curved like that. What was that? I'm going to go back in and round that out a little bit more. Getting messages. All right, so now I'm going to put it in the center, right there. See how that is bending? Am I doing that right?
Sure are.
I think so. Well, this is going to go underneath.
I see that.
It's going to do its own thing.
Well, you can always put it on a bigger one.
I think I'm going to have to. That kind of overlapped quite a bit right here. So we're going to try to straighten that up. Actually, I'm okay with it like this. It's going to be a little bit smaller, but smaller than I initially intended, but I think it's okay because somebody will fit it. Well, it will fit someone. But there
That's
again,
nice. Oh, yeah, well.
I'm a little off center there on that side. But actually, well, it's still a 7.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's about what I'm there. Is there any way to, oh, you said with the hammer
With
we could do
mallet,
that.
yes.
With the mallet, we can put that in there and then hit it down right here, right?
But yeah, you might want it above the flat of the metal piece a little bit, up, the silverware up. Oh, I don't know if it's going to go up. Okay. That'll give it more potential to move, maybe.
What do we know, right?
Eh.
Yeah, I don't know if that's going to do it or not. I'm kind of at the wrong angle.
Yeah. They'll get the idea.
But maybe I need to hit this end. I think so. Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
Much better. Okay. Everything is jumping away from me. I really like that. This is a sweet pattern. All right. Okay, let's go back to the table here. Let's see if we have any questions to answer, if we can. All right. All right. All right. Okay. What size blade would you use with the saw?
It's been a while since I've used my saw.
I would think a 2 or a 3.
I think a 2 is what I use. I was thinking 2, but I thought that can't be right. But I think a 2 is what I used when doing that kind of cutting. It doesn't need to be particularly fine to just cut the piece off. Not as if you were doing fancy sawing work, maybe finer, but I think a 2 is perfectly easy for that.
Yeah, that a 6 or an 8's too fine, I think, for a saw blade, if that's what you're referring to, Wendy. Not sure. Can you texture the plain areas? I would suppose that you could with a texture hammer or metal stamps. You can't really put it through the rolling mill because you're going to distort the metal. Oh, that was you? I'm sorry. Oh. Gina says the Demetas spoons make great double wrapped rings, including the spoon bowl.
I've made those.
Have you?
Yep. But yes, they do make a beautiful ring. I would only do it in sterling though, never in silver plate.
Yeah.
That's just because I'm a chicken.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's just so much more to explore, with doing this kind of thing. Gina, you make quite a few rings, don't you? I think Gina does. I think she was saying that. I'd like to see some of the things that you make. If you want to post them in the group sometime, that would be nice. And Suzanne says she's going to have to add cutlery to her list. Yeah, well, you should be able to find some great stuff. You've got some good stores. She lives in Australia.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and at least I think you're in Australia still, right? Or back in New Zealand? Not sure. Yeah, she finds some great stuff
Awesome.
at these stores. She finds sterling,
Nice.
It's like, really? We don't find that stuff around here. It's rare. Yeah. Okay. And just to throw in a little mix here, even though we're doing rings today, but this is a bracelet that I made with the Narcissus pattern, and you can just put this in a ring bender or something of that nature to get your curves, and then drill little holes on either side, one for your clasp and one to add a little bauble of some sort if you wanted to do that. So that's always a fun little project.
Good thing to do with your spoons are too thick to want to bend in a ring. They'll bend easier in a bracelet.
Yeah, a lot of these patterns that I bought, that are down here, I just bought them because I thought they were so pretty, but I didn't really realize the thickness of some of these pieces, and how that equates into hard bending and also the large size of a ring, although some people do like the large rings as well. But I think teaspoons, salad forks, Demetas spoons are probably among the nicest size for rings. Some of the tablespoons and dinner forks and stuff, they can tend to be pretty heavy and large. So
I want to add too that the citrus spoons work quite well generally. They don't tend to be as heavy.
this is a citrus spoon.
Some people would call them a grapefruit spoon.
Mm-hmm.
They're not always easy to find, but they generally will work pretty well for a ring.
It's got such a pretty pattern on it too.
That's Alhambra.
Alhambra?
Alhambra.
She knows her pattern names too. I don't.
Alhambra.
There's just a few that I know that I like, but these the thistle ones are they are just gorgeous, and I want to try to make something out of this fork part too, because it's just it's just so pretty. It's so intricate, and I think it would make a nice something.
Yep. I could say a Gaelic forkifant. I don't know.
Ah, okay.
Yes, they are gorgeous. And
Beautiful.
the back, show them the back of the handle, the top. It's so beautiful. Still, even the back is just gorgeous. It's like, what's not to like?
Right. It's just really pretty. Oh, I can see I'm pixelating, so you're not going to see that as well. That's one of the hazards of doing this the way we're doing it. I don't have all the bells and whistles of a good setup, but very pretty. Okay, so we've got the other, that's not a wraparound. What do you call it?
The one, the meat. I don't know what it's called. Just the ring that meets at the ends.
Right, because I ended up doing this one
Yes,
and
yes.
unintentionally.
Yep. So now we should do one that doesn't go over
Doesn't wrap,
itself.
it just meets end to end.
Yep. I don't know what that's called.
Okay. What about gold jewelry or silverware? You mean like jewelry or like silverware that's got
That's gold
the
color.
gold color on it, Mary? I would suppose you could do it the same way, couldn't you? Or does that finish get messed
It
up?
depends on what it actually is made of. It could be stainless that's got gold look to it. There's a lot of silver plate that's plated with gold coloring. I don't think there's don't think there's any silverware that's actually made of gold. It's a coloring addition added to it, like a different kind of
Like a
plating.
plating, yeah.
Yeah, unless there are some brass silverware. Brass silverware you do not want. It breaks, it snaps, it cracks.
It's very hard, right?
Yeah,
And
no, it's
brittle?
you can yeah,
Just
brittle.
brittle.
Brittle is a good word, yeah. Yes. I think that would be a good one to do for the meat. I think.
Sure, we could do that.
I think, unless you don't want to. I think that one.
No,
You know.
that's fine. All right, we're going to go back over to the ring bender. All right, we're back here again. All right. Do you want to do this or you want me to do it?
It's entirely up to you. You're the lady in charge.
I don't want to be the lady in charge.
Well, don't forget to cut the bolts.
Okay, yeah, we got to cut the ring first. Oh, you had some good tips though to show as far as bending some of the handles.
Yep.
So we have to show that as well.
Oh, you mean flatten them?
how you flattened them before you
Yes.
put them in the ring bender. This bowl is just so beautiful. We've got to find something to do with this. That is just
let's do that with
too
this one.
pretty. All right, so you want to show
Sure.
that first?
Yeah.
All right, where's the leather?
Right there.
Well, you can just use that.
Yeah. So I pointed out to Sue that when you've got a piece of silverware like this, and it's got this lovely bend to it, it's a lot easier to make it into a ring if you flatten out that bend before you do anything else. Before you cut the fork off or the spoon off, when it's still attached to the handle, you want to flatten that out. So you just take a mallet and a little piece of metal with something over it so you don't do too much scratching, and you're going to just whack that little puppy, and as you're whacking it, you're going to pull this up, and that will help flatten that out. So now that curve is mostly gone. It's going to make it a lot easier to form it. But I'm going to try a couple more whacks just because I need to get out some frustrations. I think that's better. Good to go.
Looks good.
Yep.
Don't let that drop on your toes.
No, because I would scream, and it's not a pretty sound.
We'll just leave that there for right
So
now.
that's how we do that. But the one I think we're going to do the bring on doesn't have that.
That doesn't have the bend.
Doesn't have it. So do you want to make the ring from that?
We can do
And
that.
use this later, because that one I think is going to be beautiful.
Okay. All right. So we're going to do end to end here. Oh, but that's why we we made
Yeah,
it longer
yeah.
because of this. So,
So I
this
think-
needs to be
well,
a
I think
longer
you-
ring.
I think you want to make it a smaller ring because
Really?
it's going to be huge otherwise since it's meeting.
Okay.
So I think a smaller one would be better. I would go with like a 6,
All
5,
right.
6, somewhere in there.
All right. We'll do that. So that'll be cutting above the flower. All right. Get my trusty bolt cutters. You got to be careful with these, folks, so you don't pinch your boob in them. Yeah, well,
got guys
it may
watching,
not. Yeah, well, it may not be a concern for some people, but for me, let me tell you,
That would hurt.
I've done that with pliers.
That would hurt. Oh my
It does
God.
hurt.
Ow. How do you
Owie.
explain that, Bruce?
All right, is right. All right. Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna file this. Get those sharp edges off. And try not to. Well, see, I've got a magnetic clasp on this, so my stuff is sticking to it. But I'll tell you, I love these magnetic clasps. They're really strong. They do not fall off like some other magnetic clasps.
If you're going to make bracelets, I recommend magnetic clasp over anything else.
Do you?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I
Yes,
think.
there's no reason not to have them unless you have a pacemaker, then you don't want them.
Yeah.
But if they get the right magnets, and like Sue said, they will not come apart.
No, they're nice.
Easy to get on and off.
That feels pretty good. All right. Yeah, I gotta tighten this holder up because the thing is going to fall off. Hang on here. Which way do I go? Oh, I almost ended our video. Sorry about that. Everything's so touchy,
Yeah.
It's like you
Yes.
touch the wrong place.
Yep. That's all it takes.
All right, so I've got this filed here. And what should we use? Should we start with the 18? You think?
I think so. See, folks, I'm not scientific about this at all.
They already know me. They know that
Okay.
I fly by the seat of my pants all the
Sue
time.
and I are very much alike in that, I guess. We're not scientific, we just do it
We just do it.
and see what happens. And if it's not right, you generally can make it right or into something even better than you thought you were going to get.
That's true enough.
That's the joy of silverware jewelry to me, is that there's no rules. I don't think there's rules in any art form. And if there are, you should ignore them.
That's a rule right there.
Yes. Well, that's true. I guess.
All right, so I'm bending.
Yep.
Now, see, I can see that that's curved a little
Yep.
bit, so I probably should put it in, trying to work that out before it gets too far, or is that something you can't control?
I think it's exactly what you want. I'm not sure what you're not liking.
It just seems, oh, it's better now. It seemed like it was leaning to
Straight-
the side a little bit.
Oh, I see what you mean. Okay. I've never found. See, it is, and I can tell you why it is.
Why?
I can see how you're holding your hands.
Okay, what
So-
am I doing wrong?
Well, you're not doing anything wrong, but you are kind of leaning it so that it's not, and it's a very hard thing to overcome in a press.
Okay,
It's you're holding it. Can I show them?
yeah.
Okay. When Sue's holding it, and I do the same thing, which is why I recognized it. She's going like this, but when she grabs this, she tends to tip it one way or the other. And that's a hard thing to overcome with this kind of a press, because this little white piece here tends to be a tiny bit slippery, so this thing will slide. And I think that's what she's trying to overcome right now.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll let her try to do it further. And it's
Damn, I thought she was going to finish that one for me.
well, I can if you want, but we've seen that mine
That's
don't
okay.
always end up beautifully either.
Okay, all right. Now that,
You
my
want me to
hand,
hold it?
yeah, because my hand is just kind of blocking the view.
Tell me where and when.
Just come on up ahead. There we go. So I'm in the center right now.
And when you make these presses, the actual moves that Sue's making now, you want to do them gently and not all in one spot. You want to move from left, right, a little bit this way, a little bit that way, and let it go slowly and gradually. Yep. Oh, something just happened.
I inevitably get at least one phone call while I'm doing this.
Now, Sue, I want to make a suggestion. Yep, there you
I'm
go.
gonna
That's
get-
exactly what I was. Hold that thing really firm and smack that puppy.
Do it this way.
Oh, there. Can they see it?
I'm going to give it one more whack. That
helps
was
get it
because,
lined up.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
because this edge was over to the side instead of in the center of this larger piece right here. So we wanted to move that over. So now I think I need to move to
I think so too. Smaller.
a smaller die, although this is moved a little bit, but still,
Too much.
yeah. So I had an 18 in here. I'm going to move it down to 16. Okay.
Let me know if I'm on you where I need to be.
I think you're okay.
See how she's going gently at it. That's what you have to do. If you give it one big squeeze, it's not gonna be happy.
Okay. And I
Neither are
think
you.
I'm going to
That's not bad.
I'm just going to whack this. I think that's good. Is that good, or would I go a little bit more?
Let me see. Oh, I think that's fine. Yep.
Okay. So, can you see that? Okay. Thank you. Come back to the table. All right. Let's see here. All right. We're back here. Yeah, Wendy says make a pendant with that spoon part. That would be, where did I put that?
Which piece?
Oh, it's right here. This little bowl.
Yep, that'd be pretty.
That's so pretty. Had I thought about it, I should have probably made a smaller ring and had enough here to turn this for a loop. But
You still could, but it's difficult. You just use a plier.
I wonder if I could just
I'm
do
sure you
that.
have the right kind of pliers. I
If
see.
I don't, that's pretty sad.
Yes, I see tons of them, and I'm jealous.
Let's see. Well, I can refine that a little bit more, but I don't know if I have enough distance to turn that over or not.
Want me to show you?
Otherwise, yeah, there's some round nose pliers.
If you didn't have enough room, you could always just drill a hole,
Yeah, true.
and then you can
Would
attach
it-
a jump ring.
Would it be beneficial to pound this out
Yes.
first to make
But
that
you have
flat?
to do it carefully.
How about
Oh,
you do that
okay.
carefully and I'll get a pair of round nose pliers.
Okay, that sounds like a plan, Stan.
Hang on. All right.
Now watch me break it.
You break it, you buy it.
Yes, ma'am.
Just kidding. My car warranty expired.
Oh,
Oh, that was phone call? Yeah, it probably was.
okay. So
All right.
when I do this at home, I use my workbench.
Okay.
Good old-fashioned workbench my husband built. So, but I'm going to try this table here. I hope I don't. It's okay if I.
Oh,
make
this table has been
so
through
what
all
I
kinds
do
of-
is I just grab this little puppy with the pliers. I'm gonna stand up because I need some force. And hopefully this will work. You just kind of gently, and it's never going to be a perfect round. And sometimes it'll break. That would not be good.
But you know what? If stuff
it's just
like
me.
that happens, it's good for them to see it because
Oh, you want me to break it?
no, no, not intentionally, no. But a lot of times when I screw up, it's good for people to see that.
That's true. So this is what you've got. And I'm going to take it over to the vise and hammer it just a little bit more. And there should end up being enough space in here to get a chain or a jump ring.
Oh, cool.
Let me see.
All right. I'm learning today too.
Ouch. There you go. It's not perfect. Oh, that's not bad.
I'm having fun. All right.
So
let's
here's
see.
the finished, you show it to me, you know how to do this, finished piece, and it's just, it's not a completely round over, what are those
But
things
that's
called?
good. A bail?
But, bail, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's good enough, you can get a chain through it, you can get a jump ring through it, and you've got a pendant, and it'd be beautiful.
It is beautiful.
Yep. So that was done without a needling. Again, it depends on the piece, but, and a little muscle and
Yeah. No, that's great.
determination.
I love this. I love this pattern.
It's pretty.
All right. So, you guys got any other questions? Because I'm not really sure what else, I'm not sure what else to show you guys other than, yeah, you should look for all these things when you're looking for your silverware, to keep these things in mind of what you can do with them.
Yeah, if you can get two pieces from one spoon, if you're into making money at this, making jewelry to sell, you've got two pieces there that you can sell, and you can make some pretty good income, and therefore you can buy more spoons.
There you go.
That's what it's about for me. I've got to be able to buy more product. Got to feed my fancy.
You could make asymmetrical earrings using a small fork and a small spoon.
I have done that.
That's a cute idea.
I have a customer who was so excited that I would do that for her.
And Jennifer asks, how do you make an elephant out of a fork?
You mean a fork-a-fend?
A fork-a-fent.
Well, let me see if we got a fork.
Is that anything that we can
We
pack?
don't have a regular, I think in your stash there's a regular fork. Just like a dinner fork. Salad forks and pastry forks don't work very well because their tines are, so this one. So this fork would work perfectly. You want me to?
If you wanna do
I'll
it.
flatten it first. I don't know that I can do it. It's been a while, but I always flatten it first. Then I generally use my jeweler saw to shorten it, but I'll do it with the bolt
bolt
cutter.
cutters?
So let me
Okay.
flatten this.
Okay, we're traveling, folks.
Okay, that's it.
Okay, she
So
just
now-
flattened it.
Just flattened it.
Okay.
And my elephants get pretty short legs. So he ends up with three legs. I wish I had one to show you, but I don't. So I cut the legs, and I would usually do this with my saw, but I think I want them a little, well. For me, it's the belly getting caught in there. Ow. There.
You want to work against the table?
No, I'm good. 2, 3. And you can use those in earrings.
Okay.
So this is the start of the fork event. Yeah, you're loud. So
I'd never heard it before.
So I would grind these shorter, and then this, with any luck, gets bent up.
All right.
Like a,
do you want to do it
I'm
at
going
the
to do it
table?
in the vise if
Okay.
I can.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
So when I put things in the vise, I protect them with a piece of leather if I can. Now, mind you, this guy, I have no idea how he's going to turn out.
No pressure.
No, not at all. No. You wouldn't want to screw up the fork event. I need a plier, a good heavy duty one. No, because I can do this. I can do this. And then you just, I would probably have cut this a little bit shorter. Let me do that. I'm not swift. Oops, too short, Nancy. Boy, okay. And then you just gently start forming, and I'm going to really just do a little bit of it. But you just slowly start forming the Fork-a-Funt's trunk. And you can, depending on how long you want to work with it, and you'll see that I'm getting lots of digs on there from this. For me, it takes a lot of filing afterwards to get rid of all the ugliness that I've created on my poor little guy. But his trunk is going sideways, so you'll have to forgive him. He's new at this. And then sometimes you gotta stop, hammer it. You obviously are not going to see the finished product because this is just to give you an idea of how a Fork-a-Funt is made. Somewhat. And this, I would eventually try to bend this out this way a little bit and it will come. I will file these down so they're smooth. And he gets a little hole drilled in here and
there you
jump
go.
ring at it. He's a kind of a screwy looking guy now. But
He's a skinny one.
Well, and he's got his trunk hanging pretty low. Let me see if I can tighten that up.
He's depressed.
He is depressed. He needs ice cream. Let's see if I can make it. Yeah. Some forks want to do this and some just say, nah, we're not in it. He's a mess. But that is the basic idea.
Yeah. That's good for impromptu.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, guys. Let's see. You're welcome. Does Nancy have a website or Etsy shop? She has an Etsy shop, correct?
Yes, my shops are both on vacation for the summer though, because I'm doing markets and art shows through November, so I don't like to mix my inventory up at both places.
That's that's really confusing when
Yes,
you have to do
yes.
stuff like that.
My Etsy shop where I sell silverware jewelry is Woods Edge Jewelry.
And I'll put that in our notes and on the web page or on our group page, so that way in the future you'll be able to look her stuff up. She does some absolutely gorgeous stuff. When I first met her, gosh, it was several years back at one of the shows, and she had such an array of silver jewelry, the silverware jewelry. I was just like, oh my God, I couldn't believe it. I mean, she made wind chimes, all kinds of things, bracelets, rings, pens,
Styli.
all kinds of stuff. You make the pens with the handles of the knives?
Dinner knives, yep.
Yeah, dinner knives.
Yep.
So, there's a whole bunch of stuff that you can make from flatware.
My customers always ask me, how do you make so much stuff? My response is always, I'd rather be making silverware than cleaning my house.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. That's, you know, a lot of people ask me, how come, you know, how do you do all this stuff too, you know? And it's like, well, you know, my house suffers. My house suffers for it, much to my husband's dislike, but you know,
Hey,
it
gotta
is
do
what
what
it
makes
is.
you happy.
That's right. That's right. Okay, so, yeah, got good participation on here. Got a lot of viewers. That's great.
Thanks for letting me join in.
Oh, I am so happy that you were able to come, Nancy. You know, I've never had anybody here with me doing this, and this is kind of fun.
It is fun. We had a good time.
Oh, the video's interrupted. Now what? Now what?
Oh.
It's always something. All right. So, guys, we're going to wrap it up. If you have any other questions or comments, you can always put them on the group page. I have a handout for you, and it's got a few of the process shots plus the little ring sizer gauge on the back page. And we will see you next week. I think I'm going to be doing colored pencil on metal next week. That is kind of in the works right now. And hopefully I still have to do a little bit more work on them. And then I'll put some samples out so that you can kind of see it. Okay, so thanks again. Hey, Bonnie, I'm glad you were here to watch. Yeah, if you didn't catch the whole thing, you can always catch us on the replay later on in the group. And happy silverware hunting.
Have a blast, guys.
Yep. All right, we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.